Well, hello everybody. It's Paul here. Nice to have a wee chance to say a few words to the P7s as you're moving on. Yeah, slight change of venue today. I'm in my wife's wee car. The reason I'm here is because I want to tell you a story that involves driving. I grew up in Ireland, as I think some of you might know, and some of the beaches in the north coast of Ireland are just gorgeous, and they're really big, and because the weather's so bad, they're empty most of the time as well. And I learned to drive. Me and my brother Kenny learned to drive when we were really young. I think I would have been 10, Kenny would have been about 7, and we learned to drive on some of these beaches. And I should say my brother Kenny was blind. So this was the only time he was ever going to get to drive a car. He was really excited about it. So my dad would take us up to the beaches sometimes just for a drive. And we would sit in his knee and we would learn to steer the car. And then when we'd mastered that, he started to teach us how to use the gears. So he would stick the clutch in and we would change the gear lever. And we progressed from that to actually doing the clutch ourselves. And then the next step was actually using the accelerator. And after quite a few months of doing this, it got to the point where Dad could sit in the passenger seat and we could sit in the driver's seat and drive the car. So that was my brother Kenny, who was 7 and blind, driving the car up and down these beaches in Northern Ireland. Now I always remember one day, there were a couple of wee lads on this great big beach that we were on who'd obviously gone for a long walk and decided they got far too far along the beach and they wanted a lift back. So they were thumbing a lift. They was kind of sticking the thumb and going, stop for us. So Kenny was driving, my brother was driving. So Dad said, just pull over, Kenny, and we'll give these wee boys a lift. So Kenny did that, pulled the car over. The wee boys jumped into the back of the car excitedly, looked into the driver's seat and saw that the driver was a blind 7-year-old, and you should have seen their faces. I don't think they'd known what they'd let themselves in for. But learning to drive a car takes time, and I think when you're a learner you get really nervous about it because it's all new. How am I going to cope with the traffic lights and all the people in the car, the other cars on the road and the big lorries, and I don't know how to do a roundabout and I don't know how to signal. And it's all, if you sat and thought about it all at once, you would go, I'm never going to do this. But actually, when you're learning, you just learn a bit at a time. You learn how to steer and you learn how to do the gears and you learn how to do the accelerator and how to, balance the car at the bite point, as they call it. So it takes time. It's a process, is what I'm trying to say, learning to drive. But the more you do it, the better you get at it. Very soon it becomes second nature, to the point where you don't even really think about it anymore. It's just so natural to you. And I kind of was thinking about that because I was thinking about you guys going up to academy, and I would guess that in some ways you feel a bit like learners again. You've been the experienced people at Balmedie Primary, the big P7s, and now suddenly you've got your L plates on and you're going up to academy and everything's new and everything's bigger. The school's bigger, the other kids are bigger. You've got more classes, different subjects. It's a lot to learn, and it could feel, I would guess it might feel quite exciting, but also quite scary too. And all I want to say to you is just take it a bit at a time. Don't worry about the big picture. Just take it a bit at a time, a day at a time, and you will get there. Believe me, you'll be fine. And before long, it will be feeling completely natural. And you will almost forget what it was like to be at Balmedie Primary until you go back to see maybe some of your teachers or your friends again. So it'll be fine. Don't worry about it. And I hope that whichever school you go to, you end up having a great time, fitting in well, and learning loads of stuff that's going to stand you in good stead for the rest of your life. And just a wee piece of advice I want to give you, and you've heard me say this I think many times before, and that's partly because I keep coming back to this because it's really important. The one thing I would say to you as you leave, as you go up to big school, is remember the golden rule, which is treat other people the way you want to be treated. So if you want to be treated, if you want to be welcomed, if you want to be treated as a friend, if you want to make friends, if you want to be respected, make sure that you're treating people that way. Be friendly, be welcoming, be respectful to other people, and that will never ever go wrong if that's the way that you treat other folk. I've really missed seeing you guys this year. It's a shame I haven't been able to come into the school to see you. But if you do see me around the village or maybe up at Ellen Academy where I'm one of the chaplains, make sure you stop and say hello, because I love kind of reconnecting with kids from Balmedie Primary. So stop and say hi, remind me who you are, tell me how things have been going for you. I would love to hear from you that way. And I want to say a big well done to all the staff and the pupils at Balmedie Primary for sticking it out during what has been probably the toughest year I think any of your teachers have ever had, trying to work through all the new things we've had to do because of COVID. So well done, and well done you guys for sticking at your education during this last year. So I hope that you have a great time with all your Leavers events. I hope you have a fantastic summer holiday. I hope you manage to get away somewhere and get some sunshine and some peace. And I wish you every blessing as you look forwards to a new start with your L plates up at whatever secondary school you're going to. And I'm going to leave you now with some words which are from an old Irish blessing. And this says, "May the road rise up to meet you. May the wind be always at your back. May the sun shine warm upon your face and the rains fall soft upon your fields. And until we meet again, may God hold you in the palm of his hand." All the best, folks. Enjoy the next wee while. I hope you've enjoyed your Leavers events, and God bless, and we'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.